FideMaster John Curtis. Welcome to my channel, my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to do the thumbs up if you like this video. I'm going to show you a game I just played only minutes ago against Red Bull _lover at chess.com. It's a 3-minute game. The rating of my opponent is 2,543. So I was very happy to score a win, and I thought I played the game well, and I thought it was instructive the way I played after I had a look at the analysis in chess.com. And I'm going to share that with you, and anyway, we'll get straight into the game. So we're talking about handling the middle game, handling the opening, handling the middle game, and handling the end game with precision. Okay, and so it's very, very good for beginners and even experienced players alike to see how you too might beat somebody or defeat somebody. 2,540 plus rating. He's from the UK. We're going to get into the game now, and here it is. Right, so playing the white pieces is Red Bull _lover, 2,543 from England, and we play knight f6. The engine's saying the Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight rather than the pawn. Right, so there we go. And our next move, bishop g5, a book move, right? Just threatening to take the knight and disrupt the pawn structure. I played e6, and that's a book move. E6 controls the d5 and f5 squares and allows the dark squared bishop to develop, right? Okay. So he played knight d2. Now this is a book move. His queenside's totally developed now. He's connecting his queen and castle well, and he's preparing e4. So he's playing a very aggressive game, and no doubt he has an equal position, and he's trying to strive for a quick advantage. One erroneous move and the game could be all over. Anyway, the bar on the side of the board indicates the position's level. I played d5. Now, strangely enough, the computer says that this is an inaccuracy, and I overlooked a threat to winning material. So what the engine's actually saying is in this position, h6, right? And the engine's assessing that the bishop is more valuable than the knight, so you get to play h6 move free, absolutely free, so you should play it. So I played d5. And he played e3. It says e3 is a good move. It's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Okay. Now, I really do think that the best move might be e4. Let's have a look and see what the engine thinks. e4 is best. So the engine loves this move, right? That's my move. I'll play that. Okay, right. So, but he played e3. I replied with bishop e7. Now, the engine says I should play knight on the b file to d7. It's a bit more accurate. But the way I saw it was you might be wanting to play an f4 system with a bind on e5 with the idea of attacking my king, right? So that's why I played bishop e7. So he should play knight f3 apparently, the engine says, but he played bishop d3. I told you he's after this move. He wants to play this move, and I can see it. So I thought to myself, how can I upset him? Well, I played knight there, didn't I? As if to say, well, all right, do it. I'll change bishops if you like. And he went there. He should take the bishop and play either f F4 or knight F3, and he's got a great game. So I played bishop D6, and the engine says, this is a good move. It says C5 is best, but C5, after C5 comes C3, right? So if I play this pawn move, he'll just he'll reply with just C3, and I haven't got much. What I want to do is I just want to challenge the E4 square and make him feel uncomfortable. Red Bull Lovers rated 2,543, so he's 300, more than 300 rating points higher than me. So the pressure's on him to win. So he played knight to F3. And so I played queen E2, E7. So there, I'm supporting my bishop now. But more importantly, I want to play E5. I want to break through the position and get a good game. Engine says I should take the bishop, but I didn't like it because I'll tell you why. If I took the bishop, the pawn would take, and his two pawns would control the E5 square, right? Okay. So he castled. So I thought, well, all right, then he can't attack my king. So I'm going to play my move, E5. I got a question mark for that. The engine wants me to take the rotten bishop. But I didn't like that because my position was constricted. I didn't like the constricted position. And pawn takes, knight takes. So I got the star move for that move. Well, at least I'm getting some star moves, aren't I? Anyway, he took that. He got the star move, best move. I took with the bishop. And now he played knight here. Well, the engine thinks I should take his bishop. You know what? I think I should take his bishop too. So I took it. But the engine likes me taking the pawn. I'll tell you, tough game, chess. But I was happy to have this position against a 25-43. Little did I know that I might be able to pinch that pawn. I might not have won if I'd taken the pawn. Anyway, in this position, I decided, let's castle. Exclamation mark from the engine. The chess engine at chess.com likes my move. So he played queen to D2. Engine says he should be playing C3. Why? Well, C3, the move C3 here, would fortify the D4 square. He's already got this square covered. So with bishops on the board, white squared bishops, pawns belong on black squares, right? Remember what I'm saying right now. We've navigated the opening. We're still sort of in the opening a little bit, but we're getting closer to the middle game. Excuse me. You're getting a little bit closer to the middle game. So let's see what happens. I played knight C6. I want to stop his knight coming in here, okay? And what I calculated was if he hits my knight to send my knight back, I would then play bishop here, right? And take his knight. So I'd play bishop here. And if he took my knight, I would take his knight, right? Okay. Getting a phone call. Right. Yeah, so I'm streaming right now. What is it? I'm streaming right now. I'm doing a video. See you later. Bye. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, that's my wife, my lovely wife. Right. So she always rings at the right time. Right in the middle of a stream or a video. Okay. So here we go. Right, so in this position, black has played bishop. What did he play? I played knight c6, and he played bishop here, c3. So I played bishop hits knight. I want to hit that knight, and as I showed to you before the phone rang, that's what I want to do. I want to attack that knight at all costs. and it completes my development too. It connects my two castles, and it's a star move by the engine. And these little wasted moves, but not really sharp moves. I think he just did standard stuff against me, thinking, oh, at least I'm attacking his king. But there's no checks or anything at this stage. Normally, when there's an attack in this type of position, the queen's on a white square, and you can play bishop takes pawn check, knight check, and queen to rook 5. Okay. Okay. So next move, he played rook here and he hits my queen. Now he moved the wrong rook, right? According to the chess engine, he moved the wrong rook there. He had the right idea, but he put the wrong rook there. At this stage, he's got 2 minutes and 25 seconds on his clock, and I've got 1 minute and 37 seconds, right? So he's got a time advantage. He's got a slight positional advantage, as you can see from the bar on the side of the board. And he's rated over 300 rating points above me at 2,543. So what do? I play queen here. Engine liked me to play queen to d6, but I had a reason for it. The reason being is at the end of this variation, I could challenge his bishop, right? I could challenge his bishop on that square. And that was important to me. So he played knight there, exclamation mark, best move. I took it off, as you do, trying to exchange pieces with the I was going to say the grandmaster. He's almost a grandmaster, 25-43. Anyway, he took the pawn off, and I thought, well, what do I do next? So I thought, well, I'll play pawn here, and I'll fortify my pawn structure. Now, I've got my pawns on the wrong colour for the purposes of the endgame, right? So in the computer correctly assesses that in this position, white is better. So he played pawn there, and he's trying to improve the piece position, right? So I played bishop here, right? I want to exchange pieces. Right? Now, I want to, as quick as possible, I want to play f6 and break up this pawn structure. He played bishop there. That's an incorrect move. Apparently, he should bring his bishop back to c2. Anyway, I would have been happy with that. Right. Had he played bishop to c2, had he played this move, I would have played rook here, followed by f6, possibly. That was my plan, right? But no, he played bishop e2. And the engine gave him a big question mark. So I thought, well, okay, I'll play f6 as quick as possible. Engine says it's excellent, but the other idea that I had, rook on the a file to e8, as indicated by the arrow, was the correct move. Okay? Now, we're in a middle end game here. You might not say, oh, but it's a middle game. It's more of an end game than anything else. There's a lot of toing and froing and balance of power. He should have taken the pawn, but I took the pawn. I'm hoping that he'll take with the pawn, because then I might be able to surround it if it's too advanced. Played rook takes, so I challenge rooks. The engine's saying that white's still better in this position. So, he should apparently taken my rook, but I'm happy. I took his rook. Engine says no, h6 was best, but the difference in the two moves is very minuscule, right? So it's almost the best move, second best move. He played rook takes, and now I want to challenge rooks, right? The engine says I should challenge the bishops, right? But I chose to challenge the rooks. Now let's have a look at this position. If I challenge the bishops, what would the bar on the side of the board say? It indicate that white's still slightly better. Amazing, isn't it? Well, I decided, nope, I'm going to keep the queens on. With queen and bishop versus queen and bishop, very hard to win with one extra pawn. Anyway, he played queen to e3. Excellent move. So I took it off, And then he took with the pawn. Now he should take with the queen, right? And then it'd be an interesting game, right? So if he took with the queen, positions are advantage to black now. So it's a slight advantage to black in this position. Why? Because the pawn is isolated and could be destroyed. You might think, oh, how would you destroy that? Well, I'll show you. I played b6, move 1 at the endgame. When you've got a white bishop, remember I told you earlier, put your pawns on black squares. Now with that pawn, rather than he have captured with the queen, the pawn's blocked. It can't move forwards, right? So he plays h3. He wants to chase my bishop away, right? Okay. It's okay. I'm not worried. I can get a blockade here in this position. So what did I do? I played bishop there. I moved it before he could hit it. That's right. And now he should play b4, I think. No, he played queen there. Engine says he played the best move. Isn't that amazing? I actually thought the best move in this position was pawn here to stop me playing c5, right? But the engine says this is the best move, and that's what the guy played. He's 2,543. I think he knows how to play a few good moves. Anyway, I played h6, and the engine said, excellent move, and gave me the big star. Now, if you have a look, we'll do the check, and you should do this too when you're analysing your games on chess.com in the analysis room. Have a look at the bar on the side of the board, dead level position according to the engine. So he played king there, star move, best move. This guy can play. Okay, so now I played c5 because I've got the centre pawns controlled and I've got a possible pass pawn. So I want to improve my position. He played pawn there, star move, and I played queen here. Engine says that's the best move. There are 2 star moves of equal value as assessed by the engine, and I've played the very, very best of the 2 star moves. One was queen f7, the other was d4. But I do prefer my move and keeping my pawns intact. Right? And now he plays there. So now queen takes queen check. What is the point of this move? I get an exclamation mark. What did I tell you earlier? I've told you 2 times now. He's going to recapture with the king. But I've told you twice. That's right. When you've got a bishop on white squares, put your pawns on black. Check. Star move, advantage to black. So for the first time in the game, I'm starting to attack the isolated pawn, right? Now, see this pawn here? His king can't hold on to it anywhere. His king can't even advance through the lines. So the pawn is isolated and can be attacked by the black hierarchy, right? So he played king to e3. Star move, best move. Because he's preventing my pawn moving forwards. But I'm not going to move that pawn forwards until one piece is moving. And what's that? I need my king to work. That's right. His king is active. I need my king to work. So I played king up. King f8 was best, the engine says. It doesn't make any difference. He played pawn here. What did he do that's fundamentally wrong? Let's go back before he made that move. Have a look at the bar on the side of the board. Black's got the edge. But now after this move, black's edge has just grown exponentially, right? So this is how you play endgames against 2,500 plus players. He played king to e7. Now, he should know better, but he's under pressure. He's under immense pressure. Do you see my threat? I want to ask you. I'll give you a chance to look at it. I'll be quiet for a second. So there you go. I'm going to be quiet for a second. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to give you the chance to see what the plan should be for black here. There you go. Well, if you thought for a minute that the target should be this isolated weak pawn, you're correct. So my plan is bishop back here, right, move my bishop back to f7, play king forwards and king takes pawn, and then win the game. That's my plan. It's very, very simple. So he played king there. I played bishop back. Our engine says go back one more square, but I was happy. And he played pawn here. Now here I made an error, right? I should check him with the bishop, right? I should check him with the bishop. But it's harder to win. But I'll show you what I played. I took the pawn with check. Why did I? It says it's a mistake. It says bishop g6 check is winning, right? But because he can't put the bishop in, see? I'll tell you why he can't do it. If in this position, bishop check, he can't put the bishop in. And then that means he's got to move his king somewhere. Say he goes here. So he goes there and he doesn't get the check line. I still play king here. So pawn takes pawn and then pawn takes pawn and king here, just take that off for nothing, right? Okay, that's what I should have done. But I've got 48 seconds on my clock, so you must forgive me. I played pawn takes pawn check, took the pawn, and then I played bishop check there. Okay? Okay, so it wasn't good. He played bishop there, star move, best move. So I played bishop here. Engine says bishop to e8 is best. But I played there anyway. I had a plan. He played here. So I went there, exclamation mark. I'm threatening bishop takes pawn check. Look at that, eh? Right? Okay, so now what does he do, right? He took the pawn. So I played bishop takes pawn. Now I've got 2 pawns to 1 on the queen side. Problem is I haven't got, I'm still winning according to the engine. See the bar on the side of the board? That'll always tell you how you're going. So he played king there and I put my bishop back on a beautiful central square because as you can see, he can't move his king up forwards on any of those black or white squares. My bishop is a powerhouse. Why? Because my pawns are on the opposite colour square to my bishop. And his bishop is weak. Why? Because his pawns are on the same colour as his bishop. And he's got a problem. His problem is he can't hold that pawn. And he moved up there, and then I took the pawn. Now this is where he's got a real big problem, because when he takes the pawn, which is the best move, I play pawn here. And I get the exclamation mark for the computer. The computer loves me, it really does. Okay, so he played king there. Well, he should have went to d4. I took the pawn, that's a mistake. Oh, I don't know how I play chess like this sometimes. But I'm still winning, even though I made a mistake. He played bishop there. So I thought, well, all right, I'll give you a check. And then he moved back. So I thought, well, I'll go for a queen. Engine says no, but I thought, oh, I'll just go for a queen. And then he moved his king back, and I thought, well, I'll just go down there. Anything can happen. You might get lucky, Sonny Jim. And he played bishop there, and I went there, and I'll take another pawn off. And how does he save that pawn? Well, he doesn't. So I take that pawn off. And now he's got a great idea. He's going to move his king up here and take off the 2 pawns and sacrifice his bishop for the remaining pawn. He's got a problem. What's his problem? Well, I'm going to change bishops. Right? Okay. Now, you know the old rule of the square. if he takes that pawn, this one will queen, right? This pawn's going for a queen. And so when that happened, he took the pawn, I took his bishop. Now he can't take the bishop, and he can't stop this pawn here. It's going for a jolly big queen over there, and he's too far away. And so that's the end of the game, right? Play went king takes, and he lost, right? I only had 18.66 seconds left on my clock. He had 1 minute and 3 seconds. So that's how a 2200 player beat a 2543. So that was my game of the day. Thank you for coming, and please click that thumbs up button if you like the video, and if you want to donate anything at all to help my YouTube channel, my PayPal is in the game description on the video. Okay, so if you go to the game description, my PayPal link is there if anyone would like to make a donation. Okay then, so with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, and Grandmaster Teddy, who joins me on YouTube, also on Twitch Live TV. Well, Grandmaster Teddy would like to say goodbye to you too and send his love. Okay, so I'm going to go now, and wish you all the best. Until next time,